Welcome to Synthaholics. This is your host, David Duncan, and with me is...
Brian! What's up, David? What up, dude?
Hey, how's it going? You went from 0 news topics to 3 right before we hit the go button.
Yeah, I mean, it's not super crazy news, but, Summer Games Fest is on this week as of this recording. And they announced that they're done filming the Last of Us TV show yesterday on Friday. Mm-hmm. So that's in the books. Hopefully we'll get a trailer soon. I don't know. People are saying the guy that works on it says it's good, but like, is anybody who works on a TV show is like, this is not good unless you're Star Wars.
This is definitely bad.
We'll have to see. That's my first news.
Or Star Trek, where Michael Chabon is like, yeah, I'm writing Star Trek Picard season 1 deliberately to piss people off.
Yeah, that's another Star Trek thing that I don't understand. Anyway, The Boys. We're watching The Boys right now. I don't know what season.
We're on season 3. We'll
season 3.
Be doing season 2 soon? Next week, maybe?
Point.
Or next
time? Who knows what's going on in the future?
Because we got The Boys, Obi-Wan, and then The Boys season 3.
Yes. So The Boys just got renewed for another season as of yesterday as well. So we're going to be getting another season of that as well.
That's great news.
Yeah, it's great news. Great news. And for my third news is I'm having a baby. No, I'm just like,
congratulations! What kind of baby is it? I'm
giving birth to myself.
Oh yeah, so you had
I went deep for that news.
So you're part salamander or whatever. No, you're part monitor lizard, and you just reproduce with yourself.
I bet you didn't see that one coming.
Yeah, monitor lizard. Yeah, Brian.
We'll get more.
I never knew.
We'll get into that. But that's like an inside joke for something we haven't talked about yet in this podcast.
Oh man, that's why you wanted to see Jurassic Park over Top Gun. You're part monitor. Monitor lizards have a fear of the sky and being in high places. It makes perfect. That's why you didn't want to go see Top Gun. You wanted to stay close to the ground.
I am scared of planes. That is true. I don't fancy them.
And so that's why Jurassic Park, of course, is the next thing. And then just for simplicity's sake, yes, I know they're 2 separate trilogies, but we'll probably just refer to them as like the different numbers. Whereas you've got the first 3 Jurassic Park movies as 1, 2, and 3, and the 3 Jurassic World movies as 4, 5, and 6. It's like the Star Wars sexology.
Or you're just gonna have to watch all of them and just hope you know what we're talking about.
Just hope. And Synthaholics standard spoilers will abound throughout for everything. If you've been with us for any amount of time, you basically know the drill. But just in case, spoilers for all the Jurassic Park / World films coming forward. Just because
we are pretty early on. We're pretty early on with this one.
We're breaking ground. It just like officially came out last night, I guess. I mean, there's probably the early preview Thursday night, but today is like yesterday was like the official.
I don't really count Thursday nights for premieres. I guess they do come out on Thursday, but like I'm working. I can't just go out and see a movie.
Well, they used to be at midnight. I was a big fan of going to the midnight showing. Thursday midnight going into Friday. I
but now it's not at midnight anymore.
Yeah, now it's like 6
at 3 p.m.
Like why? Why are they doing what's the point? I don't know. It's really. I guess you get a couple more showings in, but I'm just like.
For the hardcore fans.
The hardest of the hardcore
fans. Well, what we're talking about today, if it isn't obvious already, we're talking about Jurassic World Dominion.
Dominion.
I want to keep calling it Domination.
Domination.
It's definitely not that. So that's the top of mine this week. David, what is your rating of Jurassic Park Dominion? Please be kind.
Be kind. Rewind.
Be kind, rewind.
Let's see. There's a guy in the toilet over here, so I'll give it 2 out of 3 poops. No. 2 out of 10. 2 out of 10 poops.
2 out of 10 poops.
Yes.
You're gonna elaborate at all, or just like it's a 2?
It's not very good. It's definitely a number 2.
I will be a bit more kind. I will give it a 5. 5 because it loses 5 points based on the plot, and I give it 5 points based on it's just kind of like a really stupid movie to go see that could be fun if you're in like a large group of people and you're all drunk. Those are my 2 reasonings. +5 for that, -5 for the movie itself. So if we took like people going to see the movie out of it, it would be a 0. But people,
Well, that's why I give it 2 poops.
there was a part right at the start of the movie. Chris Pratt is riding a horse.
No, that's like 10, 15 minutes into the movie.
Okay, whatever the heck.
So like you just gotten out of the movie, and the movie's just starting for me, and like 10 minutes, 10, 15 minutes into the movie, I'm texting Brian, I'm like, I thought this was a Jurassic Park movie, not a nature documentary.
Yeah, it's definitely okay, so first off, what our problems with the movie, I think, mostly for both of us, is going to be the writing here. The writing is kind of like off the walls here. It's kind of like anything works. Well, anything's fine.
Also, the writing, and also just like the movie jumps around a lot. There's a lot of weird quick cuts. Like when we talked about the Monster Hunter movie and how I had like 30 cuts for like a scene. There was a couple scenes in this movie that was very like jump, 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 and it wasn't even like an action scene. The scene was just cutting around all these different angles for like no particular reason. I was like, what are you doing? Like, this is not telling a story. Like, how many shots do you really need for this scene?
I want to like try to like play devil's advocate to that, but I can't. I'm having a hard time.
I mean, you noticed it too, right? There was a lot of scenes. There was a lot of jump cuts, and not even in action scenes. I mean, they were definitely there in the action scenes too, but there was just someone talking to a guy, and it's just like, why?
Yeah, so, okay, I guess skipping ahead to 15 minutes into the movie, I knew I was on a ride when Chris Pratt's character, I don't know their names, but
When Star-Lord was riding a horse.
Yeah, when Star-Lord was riding a horse.
Named Groot.
Yeah, and he was lassoing a dinosaur. And then he's chasing a pack of dinosaurs, trying to lasso one for some reason that is never explained. It's never explained why he's trying to do this.
Like a horse is strong enough to stop a dinosaur, but he falls off his horse and he solo takes down the dinosaur.
And this is where it gets even crazier. He just holds the dinosaur with a tree root. He falls off the horse, and instead of being dragged, instead of the dinosaur dragging him, which is the size of like a semi-truck, the dinosaur's the size of a semi-truck, he just falls on the ground and just like pulls back on the rope, and it stops the dinosaur.
And he's strong. He's strong enough to stop the dinosaur. Oh man,
he's a strong individual. That's when I knew we were in for a ride. I was in for a wonderful adventure with these characters, with this crazy cast.
Oh, you didn't know like before the first, like I do from the trailers, because I'm like, okay, how are there so many dinosaurs still? The last movie, the island blew up. They saved some of the dinosaurs, but most of them were the dangerous dinosaurs, like, Allosaurus, Velociraptors, T-Rex, Ankylosaurus, because it's like the dinosaur tank, because it's so heavily armored or whatever. You can just strap guns to it, Dino Rider style, and like have at it. That'd be great. Stegosaurus, because it's got big things on its tail. But why would they ever have saved? And where would it fit on the ship? All the Brachiosaurus and all the long-necked, huge dinosaurs that are all over this movie. Why are they still alive? Like, at all? Why are they even in this film? And, like, there's so many dinosaurs in this movie. It makes absolutely no... I mean, like, I know the new genetic engineering company has made some new ones, but just out in the rest of the world, like, where did they all come from?
Well, see, the
boat was only so big.
I can combat this one. Okay, so I also agree with you. I don't understand. Like, they showed a map of, like, the dinosaurs spreading across the whole world.
There was, like, 15 of them they auctioned off in the last movie. It's like all the boat had room for. They all died on the island after it flew up in volcanic ash. And mostly all herbivores. They only kept a couple of, like, herbivores, and mostly they were just after the meat ones.
Yeah, so the way I'm going to combat that is oh God, man, I don't know if my memory's bad or the movie's bad. They go to rescue a Triceratops. Laura Dern, I think this is her character. She goes at night in a pickup truck to go rescue a Triceratops.
No, that was Claire.
Claire. Yeah, okay. I couldn't remember who it was.
Yes, there was a breeding, but where did these animals? I understand they're illegal breeding areas, but
Yeah,
where did they come
how,
from?
man.
Where did they come from in the first place to be able to be bred? Because they didn't save all these dinosaurs. Like
Biosyn.
they weren't even like Biosyn. Yes, Biosyn was making their own, but they were genetically pure. That's why they had the feathers instead of the scaly dinosaurs.
Yeah,
like we got from the original Jurassic Park.
Well, I don't know, man. I'm trying to like make sense of this here.
Well, Blue, they explained Blue. She was able to reproduce on her own because she was bred with monitor lizard, much like Brian.
Yes, much like me.
Much like Brian. She was, Brian was infused with monitor DNA upon his birth or whatever. So that's how Blue was. But according to regular Jurassic Park lore, most of the dinosaurs were bred with frog DNA, and some frogs were able to switch genders, which is how the dinosaurs were able to breed in the first Jurassic Park movies. But like I said, they didn't save that many. A lot of times they saved just one of them. Were all these dinosaurs in Jurassic World bred with monitor lizard, or just Blue?
You're way too deep. You're like way too deep here, man. Like
did not
you've seen this story. This story is not like it felt like we were watching like a movie from the 1980s with like a camcorder and just friends in a house, and they're like, let's make a movie and put it on VHS. That's like story quality of this movie. Like it's not that's the writing. That's the writing we're dealing with here.
So okay, this is a Jurassic Park movie. This is Jurassic Park 6 or Jurassic World 3, whatever you want to call it. The plot of this movie has nothing to do with dinosaurs.
No, it doesn't.
The plot of the movie revolves around
locusts.
Locusts. Yes, that's right, Brian. Locusts.
Oh my gosh. Okay. So at the end of the Jurassic World 2, I don't remember what that one was called. Whatever, the fifth movie, whatever. Towards the end of it, they say she's a clone. The little girl is a clone, and it's kind of just shoehorned in. It was kind of like we're like 2 hours and like 50 minutes into the second movie, and then it just comes out that she's a clone, and nothing's explained. So obviously they had to tackle that right away. And she lives with Chris Pratt and Claire, and they're in the mountains with some snow or something like that, and Blue's baby is around there.
Baby's Beta, because Blue's the
Beta,
alpha,
Beta Blue. Yeah, I don't know, because it's a baby one.
Beta fish.
But they live in like a winter climate. I don't know where they lived, and I'll get back to this winter thing. Why I keep harping on it.
Why are cold-blooded dinosaurs in a winter environment?
Well, there's more to that too. There's more there too. But the clone girl, she wants to explore the world. Obviously, I understand she's 14 or whatever, and she wants to explore. Sure. Also, for continuity's sake, her age doesn't match up to what they said later in the film when they were showing her videos of her mom.
Well, they
showed a video.
They deep faked the little girl's face onto an adult's body.
Yeah, but in that video, they show the date of it, and it would make her not 14. So she's not. She's not actually the correct age for what's going on. They show anyway.
Maybe she's version 2. Like, is that you? Yes, but we killed that one. We cloned you. We cloned you from the dead one.
Oh no, it was only a year off. It's okay. It's not a big deal. But so she wants to explore the world. She gets caught, obviously, because the plot has to happen. And Chris Pratt and Claire are like, okay, time to go rescue her.
The same people capture Beta.
Yeah, they also capture Blue baby Beta.
It's a twofer.
Yeah. So this is where we get introduced to Apple Park, Biosyn, and Tim Cook.
Tim Cook? Oh, yeah, I was so surprised the CEO Tim Cook of Apple was in was in this movie.
Here's what I'm not sure you know or not, but Cameron Thor, who was in the first Jurassic World, played the same character. Now, he's the bad guy in the first movie. You probably don't even remember him, because I didn't either.
Tim Cook was in the first movie?
Tim Cook, not that actor. His character was in the first movie. Now, the reason they couldn't get Cameron Thor, who plays Lewis Dawson, he's Tim Cook in this movie. Tim Cook is that character. They couldn't get Cameron Thor to play the same character again in this movie is because he is a sex offender and he's like a child predator. So they didn't explain it or anything.
Are we saying Tim Cook is also a child?
Maybe. I'm not sure. But I thought that was pretty wild that the bad guy from the first movie is in this movie, but just with a different actor, and they don't ever explain any of it.
I had no idea that
blew your mind, right?
Yeah,
it blew my mind. It blew my mind.
No idea that was supposed to be the same guy.
Yeah, it's the same guy.
And then, but like, as soon as I saw him, like, why is Tim Cook from Apple in this movie? I was gonna make the reference, but you beat me to it.
Yeah, and it was obvious. It was an easy reference to make. I think anybody who's seen Apple Park and Tim Apple, they know exactly what's going on here. So, oh gosh, okay. So, the movie primarily focuses on locusts because the Asian guy. Well, do you know the Asian scientist guy?
Nope.
The Asian scientist guy. I don't know if he's in any of the other movies. He looked like he was from Fast and Furious.
He's in all the movies.
Is he?
Oh, he's in Jurassic Park 1, and he's at least in 1, 4, 5, and 6.
Okay, well, this guy.
He's the geneticist. Like
this guy is the guy that made the locusts. He made a oopsie, and the locusts are like the size of, I don't know, like your arm, I guess. They're like arm-sized locusts, and they eat everything. They eat them all. They eat all the plants,
except for the biosyn genetically engineered plants.
Yes. Which I think is a major issue for all of us, is that this movie is focused. I've never seen a Jurassic Park movie, or just a movie that's supposed to be primarily focused on dinosaurs, ever take such like a back seat. Like, it felt like dinosaurs were like taking a back seat here. They're just kind of there. They didn't really serve any purpose except like they're there.
Oh, it's weird. It's weird. The dinosaurs are mostly just there, except for Blue. Blue is treated like an actual character in all the movies, and so is the T-Rex, because I think it's the same T-Rex in all 6 of the movies.
I'm not going to be able to give you a concrete answer on that.
I feel like because it always wins at the end. It always like kills whatever the bigger, badder dinosaur is.
They got salad fingers. The salad fingers dinosaur.
Oh, the salad tosser dinosaur.
Yeah, the salad tosser dinosaur. That was my favorite dinosaur. I think that was my favorite one. He was blind. Okay, so wow, I'm getting ahead of myself here. So they get captured, and they go to Budapest, or I don't know where the heck. Somewhere in the Middle East.
The movie jumps around to so many different places. I got lost. Like,
I don't know where the movie started off. Somewhere in America where there's snow. And
mountains.
Then, mountain area.
Somewhere in American mountains.
Then, after she gets captured, they go to the Middle East somewhere. It kind of looked like that vibe. The Middle East, Malta? Was it Malta? I feel like it might have been Malta. This is where like there's like underground dinosaur trading going on, and it kind of turns into a Mission Impossible, Jason Bourne movie. Where it's like dinosaurs don't matter anymore. It's just like they're jumping on rooftops. They're like running around chasing people. So that happens because they're trying to get the girl back, their little clone girl.
But there's also all the superfluous scenes where they go to Ellie, and then they go to Grant, and then Ellie goes to Grant.
Oh yeah, this is where they bring in the old characters. And then there's the locust scene. Like
the movie just takes so long getting started. I was bored. I was bored in the first hour because they just took it was just like too many characters. They're trying to do too many things with too many characters, and it just wasn't interesting because no one had the light long enough for me to care.
Yeah. So like, there's that. It definitely is hard to care about this movie. And there's just like this the person that had the dinosaur with the light, the laser pointer girl. For some reason, she had. So were these dinosaurs? These dinosaurs were in the other movie, weren't they? Well, you like point a laser pointer at somebody, and those dinosaurs are like, okay, that's our target. Even if we lose sight of the target. I
don't think so. In the last movie, they genetically engineered a dinosaur to do that, but It didn't look like those. They looked like they were just raptors. They had trained to do the same thing. I guess I don't know. It's really vague. And before, like, it seemed like they forgot about their target when the laser was gone. Then all of a sudden they remember which target had the laser on them. Like, why a laser? Like, what could it be, a flashlight or
Yeah, I don't know. The laser also makes a little bit of a noise.
a sticker? Oh
Yeah.
Well, in the first movie, it was a two-part system. There was a button to turn the laser on and a button to make the noise.
Yeah, and then they like target that at all costs. Like no matter what, the dinosaurs will no matter they lose sight through a wall. It doesn't matter. They're like heat-seeking missiles. They just know where the thing is, whatever their target is at all times.
They just go. Yeah, they know.
So after this whole Mission Impossible sequence happens, we finally get to like Biosyn. Biosyn is I don't know where. It seemed like it was a mix of a winter area, a jungle area, a plains biome. I don't know like where the heck they are on the planet, but
it was like a swamp biome. Yeah, it's like all the biomes.
There's swamp biome, and this is where all they're collecting. They're trying to collect all the dinosaurs to live freely, I guess.
Live free or die hard.
Yeah, so the clone girl gets here, Beta Blue baby gets there. They're being held captive. So now we got to get everybody to Biosyn. Everybody's got to get to Biosyn.
Everyone's got to get
Chris
there.
Pratt and
so Jeff Goldblum
Claire
is already there.
Whoa, Jeff Goldblum, we haven't got there yet.
He was there. This is
okay,
before.
You're right. Jeff Goldblum already works at Biosyn, and he's kind of like a villain to Jim Grant.
He's only a villain because Ellie thinks he's hot or something. And
well, regardless, he's a virgin. When the movie first introduces him here, he's portrayed as he's kind of like the villain guy. But that aside, yeah. By the way, Jeff Goldblum's character, best part of the whole movie. Like, I don't know if you would agree or not, but Jeff Goldblum was definitely like the greatest part of this movie for me. At least anytime he was on screen.
Jeff Goldblum's always the best part of anything he's in. Usually.
That's true.
It's Jeff Goldblum.
Do you think Jeff Goldblum gets like? Do they give him like, "Hey, we need you to say these lines," or is it just Jeff Goldblum just being Jeff Goldblum? Like every movie, he's like plays the exact same role, and I've seen interviews with him, and it's how he talks in his movies is just how he talks in real life. Like he has a very weird words he uses. They're not like hard words that nobody would understand, but they're like the way he talks is like uncommon. That's like he speaks uncommon English.
Yeah, I like Jeff Goldblum. I mean, like same thing. Guardians, not Guardians of the Galaxy. Thor, Ragnarok. Yeah, he was great in that. He was some of my favorite parts of that movie too.
Yeah, he's Jeff Goldblum.
Goldblum was great.
Oh, he's there, and they're assembling the squad with all the new main characters and old main characters to get to Biosyn. There's a lady that flies the plane. For Chris Pratt, yeah, for Chris Pratt and Claire, I can't right, Claire.
Yeah, she's
also on the plane.
Yes, she's our token gay person because they talk about how he's like into redheads or whatever. She's like, yeah.
Wait, she's gay?
Oh yeah, they made
I thought she was like with Chris Pratt.
The plane lady's not.
No, not the plane lady.
No. Claire is no. The plane lady's our token gay person for the thing because like it's not like super implicit, but like he just says something. Like she says something like you really love her, and he's like yeah, and then she's like I've got a thing for redheads too. Like that's like that was like the thing.
She does say that.
That was like the
okay,
one.
I missed that part.
It's super subtle. Good job for June month, guys. Jurassic World
for June month.
I mean, you didn't even go half as hard as the boys did, guys. Come on.
Yeah, the boys goes a little bit harder than that. They crash the plane, and now this is my favorite scene of the movie.
This was the best scene of the movie, but the reason it happened was dumb. They eject her, and it takes so much longer for them to get everything together because like they're trying to get to Biosyn, but they eject her because there's only one ejector seat in the entire plane, and the two of them crash. They have their own adventure. They have to go find her, so it's like a 15-20 minute side quest in the movie because they have to find her because she ejected. But the scene where she is ejected and is running from the scared blind dinosaur was really cool. It was probably the best shot in the entire film.
Best, the best scene. I'm glad that we were both on the same wavelength. They were just like, yeah, that was the best.
Yeah, because so she stuck in the tree because she's stuck in the her ejector seat. She falls down. She sees this blind dinosaur. Knows it goes based on sound, and she like military crawls into a swamp, and the dinosaur is just right behind her the entire time. Smells her, puts his head right to the surface of the water, and her head's just right underneath the camera where it's looking through the water. You see half of the water, half not. It was a really cool shot, and he screams into the water, and you see the water ripple. It was a great shot. It was a great shot. It was the most creative shot in the entire film.
Yes, agreed. I
don't count the T-Rex walking by the circle to make it look like the logo of Jurassic Park. That was just dumb.
That was towards the end.
Yeah, I was just like, what did you do? Oh my god, you're so dumb.
We'll get there. So she's kind of by herself. Chris Pratt and whatever the pilot's name is, I don't who cares.
Pilot girl.
Pilot girl. She's there, and they gotta try to reconvene with each other in the same time that the old cast of characters are also trying to reconvene. But during this time, Jeff Goldblum and these characters need to go get a sample of a locust. They don't explain why.
Oh, it's to confirm that the locusts that are... Because they captured one alive.
They already knew that, though, because they said...
They want to make sure that the same locusts, I guess, and they weren't just got loose from Jurassic World, I guess. I don't know. It's not well explained. It's only kind of explained.
Okay, so so they need locust samples.
Epic fail.
Yeah, they need locust samples for some reason, and they break into Biosyn, and well, not really break in. They were let in.
Jeff Goldblum gives them the key. Jeff Goldblum invited Ellie, and Ellie recruits Grant to go. Yes. And Ellie is newly separated from her husband, so Grant hopes he's got a chance, but Jeff Goldblum's kind of swooping in.
You know what was wild to me in this? And so they're walking around Biosyn, getting a tour or whatever, and they get to a coffee scene. And there's cameras all over, and they're showing these cameras like, we're watching you. We're watching every move you make. And they purposely use this coffee, and it makes a bunch of steam, so the camera can't see anymore. And Jeff Goldblum runs up to her and gives her the key to get anywhere in the building. And then when this shot ends, Tim Apple is just watching the whole time, and he doesn't realize what's going on, that he's giving him a key and secretly, I don't know. They're they give you this stake of, we can't get caught. These cameras are watching, and we use this coffee steam to cloud the camera from being able to see what's actually going on. But when the story beat ends, Tim Apple's just at the top watching them, and that he's still being watched. They're still being watched, but he never does anything about it. I don't know.
Well, the noise happens. I don't know. I guess he just figures Jeff Goldblum's being Jeff Goldblum, being creepy, and oh, I want to feel your clothes. What are they made out of?
Yeah, but that's something Jeff Goldblum... Okay.
Yeah,
that is something Jeff Goldblum would say in real life. By the way, he would say that in real life.
I'm not disputing that. I'm just saying he just sees Jeff Goldblum being weird. That's just how it is.
Okay.
That's fine.
All right, sure. I'll give you that 1 point. It's still not well done. Still not well done.
No. There's absolutely zero stakes to this movie. They keep talking about a global famine and nothing happens.
No. Nobody's affected. Only one field. One field gets affected, and it was a small field. It wasn't a big field. It was probably a couple acres, and it was just wheat. So it's we would have been okay.
Yeah, there's no stakes. We don't see people suffering. None of the main characters get hurt in any meaningful way. At least in the first.
That's my biggest problem. The stakes are not there in this movie. It felt at one. Okay, I'm getting a little bit ahead of myself, but there's no sense of danger. There's no tension. There's no suspense or anything. It's kind of just nobody ever gets hurt. There is one time, we're skipping a little bit ahead here because unless you can explain it, I kind of just forget what happened here. But at some point, Biosyn shuts down and they have to escape. They have to escape to meet up with Chris Pratt's character and his cast of people, and they meet together at this in the middle of the woods where all the dinosaurs are. I don't know I can't remember how they got there. How did like Jeff Goldblum and them get from Biosyn to Chris Pratt?
Well,
I don't.
Jeff Goldblum sent them out on the hypertube. The hypertube shuts down. They have to walk through the amber caves. Jeff Goldblum
Oh yeah, that's
quits. Right. He quits his job because he's like a lecturer.
Well, he got fired. He got
yeah.
fired. Yeah, he got fired. Man.
What? Like, he's no longer employed. Like, I thought they were gonna kill him. Like, it's like, oh, we're just gonna kill. Like, I was hoping something like dramatic would happen. Like,
well, this is what I thought he was gonna get hurt.
Oh yeah, and that nothing happened. I was hoping he would get hurt. I mean, not that I don't like Jeff Goldblum. I just wanted some kind of tension in this movie.
Something to happen.
Like something to happen.
So they had clean. Like they crashed this plane. Chris Pratt, pilot lady.
Not
and Redhead
scratch.
Crashed the plane. No scratches, no nothing. They just get out of the plane. The thing crashes to ice, and it falls into the ice, and it's just like they get out. Nothing.
Fine.
They're perfectly okay.
So
anyway.
Jeff Goldblum picks them up with the Jeep, and then they drive out to the place, and then they find
the outpost.
They find Claire, who's getting ready to get eaten by Dilophosaurus, and Chris Pratt.
What was the name? There was one. What was the name of that dinosaur? It was like not a dinosaur. They called it like not a dinosaur or something. It had some really weird name. Not a Gigantanosaurus or something like that.
Yeah,
I don't know. Anyway, the weird dinosaur name.
Anyway, the Velociraptors in Jurassic Park aren't really Velociraptors. They're Deinonychus, if you want to get particular. So if they don't even call it Velociraptor the correct name, I don't trust the other names they throw around to some of these dinosaurs.
Whatever it's called. They're all trying to get into this outpost. They all meet up finally, and I don't know. It's like the writers were like expecting us to like feel like, oh my god, the cast is back together, when like none of them like correlate with each other at all. Like Jeff Goldblum was like, oh, I know you. You're the guy that like trains the raptors. They're all having this like, oh, I know you from here. I know you from here. None of them knew each other. So it's kind of like,
I read your book. Like it's like in the first movie, the little kid read Alan Grant's book. Sure, like. All the Jurassic Park movies, they keep trying to pick pieces from the original Jurassic Park movie to be like to try to capture that magic, but the little scenes isn't what made the movie good. Like it's the sense of awe and wonder. Like these scenes, were well done. The first movie added tension, but remaking these scenes in the other movies like don't do anything for you other than it just feels like a hollow ripoff of the original. Like this just feels like an exploitation film where they're just like, bringing in all the original actors from the original 3 movies to mix with the new cast.
Just to make more money, probably. I mean, they didn't really need to be there.
Yeah, it was.
It's almost like the writers were unsure if they could get them, and then at the last second they did get them, and they're like, okay, we just gotta like write something.
Yeah,
we just gotta get them in.
It was an hour. It was an hour long movie, and they was like, oh, well, now we can make it a 2.5 hour long movie.
Pretty much. But during this time when they all meet up, a dinosaur comes to attack them. And they all get saved, except Jeff Goldblum's character. I thought for sure, I was like, oh my god, this is it. They're going to kill Jeff Goldblum with a dinosaur.
They're finally going to get him, yeah.
Something is finally going to happen that's a negative.
I mean,
you don't want to see Jeff Goldblum of any character die, but if somebody they're part of the old cast, they said they're not going back and doing another trilogy or whatever. Fine, it's time. Okay, let him get eaten. He saved him. He did it, man. Yeah. But no, he just takes a stick, puts a locust on it because all the locusts escaped from Biosyn. They're all on fire and flying around for some reason. They're able to survive while being on fire.
Yeah, their wings are fully functional while they're on fire.
Yeah, they're all fully functional, just on fire. They set the whole forest on fire. We didn't even explain that. No, just know that there's a locust problem, and they try to kill all of them within Biosyn, and they all escape well on fire, and they just it's not like they fly 2 feet and fall. They fly fly miles and miles around this place and set everything on fire. So he takes this locust, puts it on a stick, and he throws it at the dinosaur, and the dinosaur briefly becomes a dragon. And then that's enough time for Jeff Goldblum to escape with the rest of the people.
But I mean, it's reminiscent of the scene in the first one where he's waving the flare around and tries to get the T-Rex to chase it.
But then call back.
But then he gets his leg injured. Like something happened to him in the first movie. It's right around this scene.
Yeah. It is.
Where Jeff Goldblum gets hurt, and then Jeff Goldblum runs, and then he gets a lawyer snack instead of a Jeff Goldblum snack, and no one liked the lawyer guy anyway.
Yeah, and in this movie, literally nobody gets hurt. Nobody's hurt at this point. They're all just good climbing up a ladder.
Like, I thought the bad guy was going to get away okay. He does finally get eaten by Dilophosaurus, finally, but like...
Yes. They didn't show it, really, so I feel like there's a little room for, if they need to bring him back, they can.
Well, they spit on his face. He's gone.
With this movie's writing, would you place your body and soul onto that? He's definitely going to be dead in the next movie.
Okay,
the answer should be no.
I will not, because the writing of this movie is absolutely atrocious. Like, nothing makes sense. Flying on fire locust, where all these other dinosaurs come from. There's even bigger herbivores than there were in the last Jurassic Park movie. Like, where are these coming from?
Yeah, so then they go back to Biosyn because they need to do something that I don't remember. They'll travel back to Biosyn.
They travel back to Biosyn because the
clone baby blue, baby beta. That's why they go back.
No, they go back because the air defense thing from the flying dinosaurs. Why is there an air defense thing from flying dinosaurs? Like, most animals instinctively go away from loud noises. Like, planes and helicopters make really loud noises. Why would the helicopters fly near them? I mean, why would the dinosaurs? Who cares? I mean, most animals, including dinosaurs, would probably be startled by loud noises and try to avoid them. But for whatever reason, there's a special airfield.
Yeah, that's not explained at all. It doesn't say what that does, but there's some type of defense system that keeps dinosaurs from attacking.
Somehow it keeps flying dinosaurs away.
It doesn't. They do not explain that literally at all.
Well, they flip the switch and they turn it off, and that's how they take down Airplane Lady's plane.
Yeah. Well, a dinosaur takes it down.
Yeah, a dinosaur takes it down.
Technically, a dinosaur takes it down.
Well, yes, but they took down the field, so a dinosaur
would
take
dinosaur
it down.
could attack.
But why would a dinosaur attack a plane? I'm pretty sure if we're in real life we had dinosaurs and planes, A, they wouldn't be able to match the speed of the plane in the first place, but B, I think they'd probably be scared of the plane.
Well, I don't know. Maybe they could. Maybe some of the dinosaurs. I don't know how fast a dinosaur could have flew. I mean, they were pretty big. Some of them were pretty big. They might have been able to fly like 200 miles an hour. I don't know how fast that plane was going, though. Anyway.
Who knows?
Oh my god. Okay, we're running out of just like story beats here. There's not much here.
So they're going back to turn on the defense system, but there's a problem with the power.
They don't have enough power to turn it on. So they go and turn off something else.
So they go reenact the scene where they have to reset the park from Jurassic Park 1, but they're just resetting a server. And then there's this dumb scene where they're explaining what the button looks like and where it is. And Jeff Goldblum's being Jeff Goldblum, which is great, but like, it just says this button on it.
It's 4 from the bottom or 2 from the top. It doesn't matter.
Either way.
It's green. Either way, it's the same button. Yeah, then they walk in there and they're all scared because of the locust. There's a bunch of dead locusts on the ground, and then as soon as they press the button, all of a sudden all the locusts are alive again.
They're resurrected. They're
all like dead, twitching on the ground. Some of them not moving at all. They're on fire. Press the button, boom.
Well, no, see, the button rebooted the computer, so the button also
and the locust
rebooted the locust, and it woke up the locust, and then they just start hitting one of the computers randomly. One of the servers.
Yeah, they're like, it doesn't work. They press the button. They say it works. They start leaving, getting attacked by locusts, and they're like, wait, it doesn't work. So they just go back, and they take an axe and just start hitting a random server.
How did they know that's
not even the same one? Just a random server box.
It's already laying down on its side.
Yeah.
How did they know that's not the one that controls the air defense system? They could have just severed that one.
Yeah, they just hit a random one.
But the server, like breaking the server, cuts the power to other parts of the building, which gives them enough power to turn on the air defense system for whatever reason. I'm like,
yeah, it was
what?
Woo!
Did a 5-year-old write this, Colin Trevorrow?
Maybe.
That's what it feels like, especially the Jurassic, the T-Rex walking by the circle, so it looks like
we're about to get right to that scene. We're about to get right there. They successfully get more power. They go back to like the main control station at Biosyn. They're all there hanging out, and the pilot lady This bothered me a little bit. The pilot lady somehow got like the plane ready to go, or helicopter plane. I don't know. It was a weird looking thing. It was like kind of a helicopter, kind of a plane. And she's flying in front of the control center, and she's like gonna land inside the control center, and the guy's like, "No, don't land here." So then she just decides to land like where all the dinosaurs are, and he's like, "No, don't land there. There's dinosaurs there," and she just ignores it and lands there anyway.
Yeah, pretty much. She does what she wants.
And this is where finally the scene you brought up twice we can talk about. There's a statue inside this university plaza thing.
It's big,
there's a circle statue. It's just a big circle, and of course we get a dinosaur. The Tyrannosaurus Rex walks by.
No, he stops at the side of it and like turns profile so he can make the Jurassic Park logo.
They make the logo in the movie.
Well, they did the logo in the movie. Yeah, they did it.
Can you imagine sitting on that writing board and they're like, you know what? I got an idea.
It's like, no,
let's make the dinosaur make the logo.
Well, no, he goes to his computer artist and it's like, you gotta like make the T-Rex walk behind this thing and then make it stop and make the logo perfect before he continues on. It's like,
oh, also
we
about these dinosaurs. I'm not sure all of them are CG. I think they have a lot of like puppets that are real. It looks like some of them look like they could have been like, at least they had the head of like the Tyrannosaurus. I think they're using like puppets. I don't think it was all CG.
I mean, maybe. I mean, they definitely use like some puppetry and some like life-size stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. The first.
I thought that was cool. That's a side note.
But yeah, but all the dinosaurs fighting is totally like, and I'm sure the dinosaur walking in was all CG too. I mean, like,
oh, most of it was CG, but I think there was some puppetry going on.
Oh yeah, like close-ups with people would have probably had like real things, or at least a stand-in green screen head they could touch and they could.
Yeah. Before we move on to this clone girl, because we haven't really talked about her at all.
Clone baby.
They have the Tyrannosaurus Rex, the one that's been in all 6 movies, I guess. I don't know. Has a fight with the dinosaur that was like genetically made to be stronger. Like everything about it is just meant to be better. And with Salad Fingers. Dinosaur is also there, and they have like a 3-way fight. And of course the T-Rex has to win because it's been in all 6 movies. So the dinosaur that is genetically designed to be stronger, faster, better than the Tyrannosaurus Rex loses to the T-Rex because he got impaled by Salad Fingers. Well, what kind of does that dinosaur actually exist? That Salad Fingers one? I never seen that one anywhere.
I don't know. Like, I don't know these Jurassic Park movies anymore. Like I said, Deinonychus is the actual correct name for what they call a Velociraptor in the Jurassic Park movies. So I don't really trust like all the names for these dinosaurs that like I don't know, like, off the top of my head. I don't trust. Like, I know T-Rex is a T-Rex. I know an Ankylosaurus is an Ankylosaurus. I know a Stegosaurus is a Stegosaurus. But all these other dinosaurs that I've never seen before and they say the name, I'm skeptical because they didn't get Velociraptor right.
Yeah, well, just to make sure if anybody's unclear, the Salad Fingers dinosaur is not actually called Salad Fingers.
I know. It's just got really long claws. There's like it dangles like they're super long. So T-Rex like looks like it's beaten, but when Salad Finger shows up, it distracts Gigantamaxosaurus. And T-Rex gets up all angry, pushes him into Salad Finger. Salad Finger's like, "Whoa, I don't want to fight," and he's lifting his hands up. He
throws it off. So then it just immediately dies.
Yeah, and
that's that fight. Now. Backtracking a little bit, we got this clone to deal with here because I'm pregnant too. This woman is the original person had some type of virus disease. I don't remember exactly what happened.
Yeah, she had a genetic disease specifically that prevented her from living a full life.
She was able to create clones through Blue, right? Or through the Velociraptor or something, because they have something that they needed. like the genome was in beta, which is why they also needed beta.
I don't think Blue was alive yet because this is the original Jurassic Park she worked at.
No, but why did they need beta then?
Well, Beta had the monitor lizard DNA, and they could use the monitor lizard DNA to make a self-breeding.
Oh no, weren't they
locust.
were wondering why Blue was able to have a baby.
Well, no,
by itself.
They knew why because of the monitor lizard DNA, but Blue. No, they didn't need Blue. They just wanted Blue because they wanted Blue in the last movie. They wanted the girl.
No, they didn't want Blue. They wanted Beta. Because they wanted Beta because they wanted to know what their DNA was or what its genome or whatever the heck it was.
Yeah, I feel like the reason they
it
wanted
doesn't
Blue,
matter. It doesn't matter.
the reasons
it
are
doesn't matter.
murky at best.
Yeah. So a genetic disease that this person, I can't remember her name. I don't remember any of her name. Abigail. I don't know. Sure. I'm gonna go with Abigail. Abigail has a genetic disease, and she decides to, with dinosaurs and her ability to just be smart, creates a clone of herself. She gives birth to herself. I don't like that's a little weird. She makes this genetically perfect human by making herself pregnant with herself. And they want this girl who was born of herself to be studied so they can figure out how to do it again, I guess.
Yeah, they said that they want to like make in intro of the movie. They talk about how Biogen wants to just, create cures using genetic engineering and the dinosaur DNA or whatever. Like they didn't really expand. It's just like this general. Oh, we're gonna do good things with this dinosaur stuff. And this genetic stuff, they don't really expand on it. We're doing good things.
Yeah.
But the scientist guy who's been in most of the movies is like, oh, we're gonna go ahead and I can fix the locust problem by using her.
The Asian
DNA.
guy. The Asian guy, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And they're going to. He wants to use her DNA to make a special locust that'll infect the other one because he wants to know the code in her that rewrote the gene to take away her virus. I guess he wants to write a gene to make them just die or whatever. I don't know.
Yeah, I like that guy. He did a good job. I think I like the Asian guy. He seemed like he would like. I don't know. He just like played the part well. I liked him. I didn't have any problem with him.
He's fine. I mean, like
yeah. So
the problem isn't any of the actors in this movie. It's like it just comes back down to like most of our issues with most things is the writing and direction. It's kind of like terrible.
Yeah. So they make it out unfazed after this. They had a meaningless dinosaur fight. The Asian guy is a good guy. They escape, they get some health care, and they go back home. And it all comes back to where Chris Pratt, redhead, and clone girl, with Blue, back on their ranch, and it's no longer winter time anymore. And they've been gone for a day.
Well, they shot it at different times, I guess.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, because the movie opens up and then they're in like this winter wonderland, and then like the movie takes place over the course of a day, maybe two.
Oh, it takes
maybe 2 days.
You got to factor in travel time to Malta or wherever they went. It's probably at least
it must be 6 months.
A couple days. Oh, I mean,
okay,
they did walk to Malta. I mean, it might take 6 months. Who knows?
It didn't. This movie didn't take place over 6 months.
It was probably
a couple days,
a week at most.
I'll give it a week at most, and they come back and it's just like summer now. So that was my final problem. Well, actually, I have one more problem after this. Actually, 2 more problems.
Actually, 5 more problems.
No, I got 2 more. So the movie ends after that. What happened to the main cast? Like, what happened to Jeff Goldblum and all of them? Did they explain where they went?
Jeff Goldblum went to go write another book. Grant and Ellie went to Congress to
talk to say dinosaurs should be living with us or something like that. And then at the end, they they tell us the same thing they told us at the end of the second movie or the fifth movie, that we have to live in harmony with dinosaurs. And they say the same thing in this movie too. The ending sequence is we have to live in harmony with dinosaurs.
There's like a bunch of ducks and some pterodactyls hanging out. It looked like a scene from Duck Dynasty. They just like CGI'd some dinosaurs, some pterodactyls.
This is what my final problem with the movie was. The final shot is, in that first movie, they have like a SeaWorld type of thing going on with that giant alligator dinosaur. They have that thing swimming next to a blue whale in the ocean. There is no shot. This giant size of a blue whale alligator dinosaur is not going to attack the blue whale. That's just not going to happen. That's the final shot of the movie. They're like, we're living in harmony now. We made a pact with the alligator dinosaur.
Yeah, we wouldn't talk to him. Explain some things to him. You can't eat the blue whales; they're endangered. And it was
they're endangered. Don't eat them.
I was like, oh, okay, I'll eat something else than the blue whales. That's fine.
Yeah. And cut to credit. That is.
Well, it was like Triceratops running with like horses, and it was just like
there's something running with elephants in the savannah.
Oh, it was the Triceratops, and there's something else running with the horses. I don't know.
I don't.
It was
God. Yeah. So that's that one.
It was many kinds of dumb.
You know it's funny is you and me are always trying to like find like a movie that nobody's seen before that's old that is like really bad and so bad it's funny type of thing, just so we could talk about it whether it's in person or on a podcast. We're trying to find like an old movie nobody's ever seen before, and we found one. We found a really bad new movie that was so bad it's funny.
I mean, yeah, it is so bad. It's funny to talk about. It wasn't funny to watch. It was really boring. I struggled to stay awake through this film. It was really tough.
For us, you and I are a little bit more critical, and anybody who would listen to this is probably more critical as well too. But we're definitely more critical than a general audience member going to see any movie or any TV show or any series or a book. Read anything. We're always going to be a little bit more critical of it. So I think for
I just like to put
majority of people, I bet you,
yeah.
without looking, I haven't looked, I have no idea. I bet you, like, the Rotten Tomato score of this is critically awful, audience approved.
Yes.
I bet you it's that, because it is
I looked at it earlier today. It was like 81% for audience.
Yeah, your general moviegoer is going to be like, that was a fun movie. But anybody who, like, reads, like, thinks 3 words into actually what happened in the movie falls apart so fast.
Oh yeah, I mean, like I always try. If you've been following the show for any time, I always try to apply logic and what we understand. It's been in the world before, and like I said, like where did all these dinosaurs come from? I know Biogen made some, but there's other just in the wild, not in the Biogen territory.
They didn't explain it. There's just sense. Like there's literally thousands of dinosaurs all over the place now.
Like they're talking about how that's like a problem, and there's like all these dinosaur related deaths. It was like the beginning.
Just like dinosaurs hanging out in parks. There's dinosaurs just like hanging out in parks across the planet, just living with normal humans. I have no idea how they regenerated or birthed that fast.
Well, but, they show these little tiny dinosaurs that look just like the little dinosaurs from Jurassic Park 2 that killed a guy because they just like have this little.
Yeah, there's a lot. That is what they were. A bunch of those little. That's what's in the parks. Yeah. Those little tiny ones. But people are just like interacting with them,
playing with them like they were a problem, but they were like a serious threat. It was like. They killed a couple guys, at least one guy in the second one.
In the first 2 movies, they had like a special like gun that just like put any dinosaur to sleep. It was just like, we just need one shot. One shot is all it's going to take, and we're going to take this dinosaur down. And in this movie, those guns don't exist anymore.
I feel like also
like tranquilizer
the
guns.
Trailer was
Chris Pratt has one to take Blue down.
Oh yeah, he shoots Blue next Blue.
Yeah, but why don't they just have those like ready to go at all times everywhere? All it is a trank thing for dinosaurs, but they don't use them at all in this movie. Anyway, yeah, that's another thing I just thought of.
Who knows? Yeah, I mean the audience score has been really high. I mean, sometimes critics are definitely wrong. I mean, like Justice League wasn't great, but I don't think it was as bad as it was critically panned for. Like I think they were over bad on it. Like Justice League was not great by any stretch of the imagination, but also wasn't as terrible as a lot of the reviews said.
Yeah, I can agree.
It
with
was
that.
somewhere in the middle between the audience view and that. Although with this movie, I totally agree with the general reviewer scores of like the 30 whatever percent. I mean, I gave it even lower. I gave it a 2 poops.
Poop, poop. Poop, poop.
It's just.
Yeah. So in closing, David,
all the actors were fine. Like no one did a particularly bad job acting.
no, it's just writing. It's just writing.
it's-
The problem is writing. That's it. The story and writing is the only problem. Everything else technically fine. CGI, graphics, VFX, sound design, just the set pieces. They're all actors. They're all good. It was all good.
The thing is, this movie for me, it felt like Colin Trevorrow had a bunch of shots he wanted to get. Like the movie started off with a bunch of, I want to do a shot that looks like this, a shot that looks like this, and then they like wrote a story around how can we make these shots. You know what I mean? Like because
Maybe.
the movie just feels bloated. It feels way too full. Like I said at the beginning, they're just jumping around way too much. Like I mean, in the first 15 minutes, we've been to like 16 different locations. Like it's so many. There's a lot of characters. It's not like overwhelm. It's not like overwhelming and like I can't take it. It's just like you're dividing my attention between too many things for me to care about anything.
Yeah.
Like you gotta focus, like your core character. Like if you would have like gotten the characters together sooner, so that they could have seen some interaction. They probably didn't know how they would interact. Like they don't get together till like the last 30 minutes of the movie, basically. Like everyone, like all of our main characters. So everything's like A and B story. Like it's like on a TV show that works because theoretically it's a long running TV show like Star Trek, where you've got like 7 seasons and a bajillion episodes a season, and a lot of times in an hour long they do an A plot and a B plot where like you got main characters doing the main story and you got some side characters doing some other things. But this was like 2 parallel A plots jumping back and forth, and like sometimes even the A plots were like separated from each other. It's like what?
Yeah, man.
It was so bizarre. The way
It was all over the place.
they wanted to shoot this, and I don't know, like nothing has matched the splendor and awe of the original Jurassic Park from the 90s. And Jurassic Park 1 still holds up when you look at it. Like the dinosaurs still look good.
I mean, we have come a long way since that. I guess they hold up, but like we're not. The dinosaurs in this one definitely look better than the original.
Well, I mean, like there's more complex rendering technology, but considering what they were working with in the 90s, it's still a great looking film.
It's still fine.
It still holds up. It's not like the micro detail and dirts and cracks and everything, but you're also looking at more wider shots in the original Jurassic Park, and anything up close was usually like a puppet, and puppets usually hold up really well. I mean, unless they're just a really bad puppet. I mean, most puppets hold up great. I mean, Yoda still looks pretty good from Star Wars.
Oh, God.
Well, I mean, like if you look at it, I mean, like I thought the CGI Yoda in Episode 1 looked worse than the puppet.
Oh man, let's not start talking about Star Wars. We're gonna we've already talked about bad enough stuff.
Well, I mean, I'm just saying some early CG doesn't hold up, but some does.
Puppets will always hold up because they're physical. It's
Yeah.
real. It's real, and it's as good as the prop master can make them.
Mm-hmm.
That's always gonna hold up, I think.
Absolutely.
So, my closing thought is Land Before Time are better dinosaur movies than Jurassic World.
All of them.
Yes, all of them. And if you must watch a Jurassic Park movie and want to enjoy it, the first one is the only. Then don't watch anymore. After the first one, don't watch anymore.
Pretend nothing happened after the first one. Like the world ended in a cataclysm as soon as the first one was over, and
It took place before that movie was shot before the dinosaurs actually died on real life, and then the meteor that killed the dinosaurs also killed any chance for it to be a second movie.
Yeah, like the Earth fell into the sun right after that movie was over. Like just assume that because.
But I mean, to be a little bit less critical, it was. I mean, if you want to just have a fun, don't think about it time, something to throw on the TV when you're just kind of hanging out at home. Don't go see it in theaters, but other than it's fine. I just throw it on in the background while you play a board game.
just if you want ambient dinosaur noises occasionally.
You want ambient dinosaur noises, and just look up at the screen every once in a while and be like, "Huh, that's weird. It's a weird choice." Then you go back to like rolling your dice.
Honestly, I can't even recommend it for that. It was boring.
Yeah, that's why
It
we're
was
playing a board
really
game during it. Get it? Board game?
Yeah, yeah. Well,
Oh, man.
touche.
Yeah.
Well, maybe the
I
voice
think
is
we've reached the pinnacle, David.
the pinnacle.
We've reached it. We've done it. We did Jurassic Park. Tune in next time when we don't know what we're going to talk about yet. Email David at synthaholics@yahoo.com. I have nothing else to plug. Not that I really ever plug anything. It's just
All right.
it's kind of a meme telling people to email.
It's just a meme. Well, hopefully, Xbox is game stuff will be happening this weekend. So tomorrow, I believe.
It is tomorrow.
We can mention that
As
on
of
the next
recording.
podcast, and
If anything else happens.
yeah, I'm excited about that one because we'll hopefully see Starfield for the first time. So,
You'll see more concept art.
oh man, I can't wait to see some concept scribbles.
Yeah, that's what you're going to get.
More scribbles. I hope we get gameplay. I want some gameplay. Please, Bethesda, can I have a gameplay?
Todd Howard says it's ready to go. They're closing the final. They're finishing up the final touches. That's what he just said in his most recent interview.
Yeah.
They're finishing up the final touches.
They did. They're
Yeah,
they're putting.
and that's why it got delayed because they're finishing up the final touches. It got delayed until next year because they just need to finish up those last little pieces.
They got to put some makeup on the corpse.
Yeah, exactly.
Make it look pretty.
Boy, Todd Howard, man, what a charismatic liar.
I've never been so happy to be lied to in my life.
That should be his quote. It just works. Well, no, his quote is "It just works."
His quote is "It just worked," but I mean, like, he's such a convincing liar, man. I'm probably glad. I'm probably glad I don't know him in real life because I mean, he is so convincing. He's so charismatic.
It feels like he'd take advantage of you, David. The way you're saying that,
He probably would.
I wouldn't. I would just have to agree with him at all times.
Yes, Mr. Howard.
Yes, Mr. Howard.
But how
Yes,
can I?
Mr. Howard.
But how can I trust you? Things don't just work.
Things just don't work. I make it work. I make it work.
What about all those modders that make it work?
Well, they're the ones that actually finish the game.
Mm-hmm.
Like Bethesda does like 80% of the game, and then it's up to the community to finish the last 20.
And then the community adds another 20 or 30 or 40% on top of it with some of their
Some of the mods. Yeah,
some of
that's
the
how
mods
Bethesda
that
games
add
are made.
content. Mhm.
This is true Bethesda way.
This is the way. Oh, speaking of The Last of Us 2, not The Last of Us 2, but The Last of Us TV show. Hopefully, the Mandalorian helmet will be somewhere in some of the scenes.
Well, since Sony doesn't own Disney, I'm gonna probably go with no.
Well, you see, they borrowed Spider-Man, so we can borrow the Mandalorian's helmet, right? I mean, just the helmet, just leave it on the shelf somewhere.
I guess. I will say a little bit more about the Last of Us. I'm a big fan of The Last of Us Part 1 and Part 2. Mm-hmm. And they announced that they're remaking The Last of Us Part 1, but they've already remade it once. There's already a remake.
Oh, it was a remaster. It was...
Okay, come on. It's like the same thing. The game holds up. And I saw the trailer for The Last of Us. It's like... It looks so... It's better, but it's not like, oh my god, you know? I don't know, man. I'm more... They did announce that they're going to be doing a multiplayer game that's bigger than both Last of Us and Last of Us 2. That could be cool. I don't know. I do like that world. And Troy Baker and Ashley Johnson, who play Joel and Ellie in the video games, also have characters in the Last of Us show, but it's not Joel and Ellie, so I don't know what the heck they're going to be doing, but they do have roles.
They'll just be zombies.
Maybe. I don't know what they're going to be. But yeah.
All right. Well, that was video game talk and some Jurassic World Dumbinion.
Dominion.
Emphasis on the dumb. All right. Live long and prosper. Don't let the dinosaurs bite.
Bye.